Hey folks, how's it going? This is Seagull here, back with another speculation video. So earlier this year, we had a round of surveys that ended up being posted online, and multiple ideas within that survey for possible expansion packs that we could get included cars. And that is very exciting to me because if you've watching my videos for almost any amount of time, you probably know I really want cars in The Sims 4. There's a lot they could bring to the game, even with the closed world. And I think we may have another hint, but in probably one of the strangest ways possible. Lunar Brittany posted on Twitter that Sims Lab just sent an email with stuff about inZOI. I've seen other people post about this too. Apparently the whole survey is just about inZOI, so does make me think EA is actually a little worried about inZOI, which is a good thing. I mean, they definitely need competition very badly. If the past few years haven't proved that, I don't know what will. But then when it comes down to most of the questions, it's like, okay, yeah, I guess if EA were to ask us about inZOI, those are the questions they would ask about, like, oh, like, how much do we like certain items that are in the game? Have we been frustrated at all with the gameplay experience? What things do we like the most? However, there are some more specific questions they ask too, like this question about the 3D printer feature where you can upload a photo into the game and then it uses generative AI to turn that photo into an actual item that you can use. I hope The Sims stays well away from this generative AI slop, but it's probably inevitable that upper management at EA would force generative AI features into the game. But I really hope that this is more just like, oh, another thing where they're just curious about how much people are using this feature because it's a thing that exists. I know it's an optional feature. I have been avoiding using generative AI features within inZOI, but I still don't think these features are things that should be encouraged, considering how harmful generative AI is. But then there's a pair of questions that has me a lot more intrigued. Did you experience gameplay with a car in inZOI? And what value did the car bring to your gameplay experience? In this case, I feel the opposite. I hope that this is more evidence that they are working on cars. Considering that cars are not in the game right now in an ownable form anyways, and are highly requested, and that we have those previous rounds of surveys that already suggest that cars could be in development. That is interesting that they're not simply asking if we've used cars or not in inZOI, but also what impacts do they have for our gameplay. Obviously, the car experience will have to be quite different in The Sims 4 compared to inZOI. Even in its early access state, inZOI's cars are pretty cool, I think. Like, you can even directly control the driving and not just be like, go here in a car. Though the physics could use a lot of work. They don't feel like they have much weight behind them realistically compared to just how you would drive them in real life or in like the many racing games out there. But it's really interesting, like the open world and then being able to drive around, and then you could like just park your car in a parking lot, though it does teleport home afterwards. I hope they will change that for at least when you do park in an actual parking lot and not in the middle of the road. But then when you look at The Sims 4, it's not just the fact that it's not open world. Even if it was, the neighborhoods are quite small, especially for something in a car where you're traveling around in it at a higher speed compared to just being on foot. There are quite a few neighborhoods that are very large for walking around in, but then when you try to cover that same distance in a car, it's over so quick, then it's just, oh, not much time to really enjoy that experience. So no, I highly doubt that we'll be able to drive around Sims 4's worlds, let alone be able to directly control said driving But I think Maxis is taking feedback into account, what people like and don't like about inZOI's cars, and considering that for hopefully whenever they make cars themselves, if they're not already working on them. How they could implement cars into The Sims 4 is something I've discussed many times in past videos, but I think they could take inspiration from some of the older Sims games that had cars yet did not have open world, such as The Sims Bustin' Out and Sims 2. Especially in The Sims 2, I think the cars are pretty cool because it's not just simply pulling out of the driveway and going to whichever lot you want to go to, but you can sit in the car, you can listen to music, you can talk to other Sims who are sitting in the car with you, and of course, woohoo. That's a big deal to a lot of people, I think, getting more woohoo spots. You could install a car alarm, so if you have the car outside, then it could potentially double as a security measure against burglars. And then the free time expansion pack introduced the Fixer Upper car, where you have this just completely worn down car that you restore, and you can actually have that as your car, fully functional when you're finished with it. So I think that would be cool to have all that back. And then they actually could take notes from The Sims 3 as well, because you had that parking spot that you place the car in, and the parking spot did not have to be connected to the road. And many neighborhoods in The Sims 4 either don't have roads at all or have lots that do not connect to the road, so they could have that. You could have the car placed on a parking spot, and then as it backs out of it, then you would hit the loading screen, so you don't have to really worry about whether there's a connecting road or not. But there we go. EA definitely is looking at inZOI, taking notes from what players like and dislike about the game. Hopefully that will translate into improvements in The Sims 4 and features that we may want as well, including cars. That's pretty much all I have to say for now. Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Have you played with the cars in inZOI? And if you have, what do you think of them? Also, happy Easter to those of you who celebrate. Be sure to subscribe if you'd like to keep up with my latest gaming content. I will talk to you all later, and have a great day. Thanks for watching.